Okay, what is up, guys? The Solheim Cup is somehow over. It is over. I can't believe it. It feels like the week just started. It has been an insane week, and America came out on top, 15.5 to 12.5, which I just want to point out that was the score that I guessed in our preview.
Woo!
Hope. Yeah, I'm like pretty good or whatever. No, it was just a random score that I guessed. But I did think U.S. was going to win, and they did. I think just in general, okay, first of all, I'm Hope Arnett. This is Inside the LPGA podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, however you are tuning in. And I'm here with Emma Talley. She was the content queen this week. She was getting all the behind the scenes. How was this week for you? Are you a little relieved that we're sitting here and we're talking about the tournament now?
We are zombies at the moment, but what an amazing week. I couldn't have pictured it any better. I've always dreamed about being on a Solheim Cup team, and so to be behind the scenes this week doing all the content was just truly amazing. And these are all my friends, so you know, we had so much fun. The days were long, but so much fun, and now look, like it's all worth it.
It is.
It was so good. I'm so excited to celebrate and see the girls get excited tonight.
Yes.
And young Rosie said she might even have a drink too.
Oh, getting crazy. I will definitely be having a drink, so I know that for a fact. Let's just start with going over kind of what happened in the last couple of days, at least just a quick overview. I'm sure people watching or listening have been, you know, keeping track of it, but just in case. So the U.S. never trailed at any point in the whole event. So going into, let's see, where is it? Coming out of the first day, the U.S. team led 6-2. And then coming out of the second day, so heading into today, Sunday singles, they led 10-6. So for people who may not know, Sunday is singles matches. So everyone plays, everyone goes head to head, and it was exciting. For a little bit there, matches were ending really early. I was like, is this going to be over really quick? But it wasn't. It ended in a very exciting way. So what can you take away from this final day and talk about the good golf that we witnessed?
Yeah, I mean, it was so exciting all week long, and we had a past captain's dinner on Thursday night, maybe Wednesday night, I can't remember. And one of the topics was those half points are so important. And it just showed today how important those half matches are. You know, you have to come in clutch. Yes, you're going to have a couple that are 6 and 5. You're going to have a couple that are one up at the end of the day. But these half points really got us through to these last few holes today to kind of clinch the trophy. So it was so exciting. The message this week was so high. The vibes were so high behind the scenes. And honestly, y'all, I had never doubted them 1 minute. Every single morning at 4:30 in the morning, they had the bass, they had the music going. Every night at 10 o'clock at night, the music was going. All the girls in the team room were so excited, and they just stayed positive, and the vibes were always high. Even if a girl lost their match that day, they still came into that team room with energy.
Love that.
And Stacy's message all week was unfinished business. Let's keep the pedal to the metal.
And they did.
And they really did do that. And it was so fun to get to witness it.
Yeah. And yeah, you had a first. I mean, you were there all week. You were behind the scenes with them. It was so cool. And I want to get into that in a minute because the vibes were extremely high. But I want to just talk about, you're talking about the half points. And like you said, those were very important today. So Lauren Coughlin, first of all, rookie on the team, she absolutely crushed it this week. She came in clutch over and over and over again. And she was actually down for most of the match, I think. So until the 14th hole, which she tied the match with Maya Stark. And then she ended up getting that half point, and she did it on the 18th hole. And then Lilia Vu, who is just the most clutch player.
Slay!
Big slay. Slay of the week, Lilia Vu. Just, that's it. Like, nothing else. She's just the slay of the week. She also got the half point. I was watching them come through on 18, and it was actually insane. She made that putt on 17 to extend the match, and then on 18, she made that putt to tie it, and that was the winning putt. So I guess Lilia, I mean, come on. She's a beast. Like,
she
tell her how
is.
clutch she is.
Yeah, I mean, Lilia, really all the girls this week. Every time I was like, oh no, one of the girls would just knock it close. Or
Yeah.
hit an amazing shot, and it really does come down in these situations, the Solheim Cups, like Maya, for example, that point could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
And 13.5 to 15.5 or 12.5 to 15.5 is not that much difference. A few bounces here and there.
Right.
It could be totally different. But these half points, Lilia Vu, she comes in clutch all the time. She's been hurt all year. And to flip her year the way she has after being hurt in the middle of the season, I mean, it's just been insane to watch, and it just goes to show like how good she really is.
Yeah.
She told me at the beginning of the week she never looks at her swing, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "I never look at my swing video." And I was like, "When's the last time you looked at it?" And she said, "College." And these backstories that I've gotten to hear all week, I'm just like, I've done this completely wrong. We all do it differently. Now, Sarah Snow's on the other side says she looks at them all the time. But Lilia Vu, I mean, she hit it to 2.5 feet on that last shot. It was incredible. The vibes, even with the fans, I mean, I hope some of the people listening right now were here. You guys really pulled through this week. And, that energy goes into the players, and it really does matter. And it was so fun to watch.
Yeah. Going back to the vibes, because there were so many fans here, which was amazing to see back on U.S. soil, and then to win the cup here. I just want to talk about this because I've worked now 3 Solheim Cups, and they're so much fun. They're intense. They're crazy. They're kind of, I'm always exhausted by the end of the week, but this is the best vibes I've ever seen on the U.S. team since I've been working Solheim Cups. Like, what do you think was different about this team? Because I think obviously they're all amazing players, right? But I think at the end of the day, that's also kind of what got them to this point.
Absolutely. I think that was 100% it. And I'm gonna give a shout out to the Caddys.
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. Ever since the first day, there were a couple of those Caddys that, no matter the instance, they had something fun to say. Mm-hmm. They had something positive to say. They were the DJs on the bus every single morning. We had the same songs every night when we'd get off the exit to go to the hotel, the same song every night. And, and they were hilarious. It was just an amazing week. The Caddys, the past captains, they all really made this happen. The girls had all these little not superstitions, all these little kind of cues that they were doing all week. One being Terry Mack. Terry Mack is a caddy that's a legend out here. He used to caddy for Annika. Has probably the most wins of any caddy ever. And he does this point every time anybody forever makes a putt. And so Ollie Brett, who caddies for Rose Zhang, made T-shirts last night, right before the going into singles matches, which, like you said before, those are the big. That's the big deal. Like, that's when the most points are made on. Yeah. And Ollie had one more little piece of the puzzle, and that's just a caddy. No one knew. Yeah. Him and a couple of caddies came together, got 30 T-shirts with Terry Mack's face on it with the point.
That's awesome.
And it's things like that keep the vibes high. You have to change it up every day. The caddies came in clutch. Everybody out there really just made a difference.
Yeah. Speaking of Ollie, well, first of all, he's so funny. Like, I just love watching him and Rose because they're so different too, but they work so well together. Rose, I'm not going to say she needed to redeem herself necessarily because she's Rose Zhang. Like, she doesn't need to prove anything to anybody, but I don't think she performed how she wanted to when she was a rookie last year in Spain. Well, if she was trying to redeem herself, she did. 4-0, baby. Let's go. Because, she went undefeated. So, I mean, she's so young, but she's so good. Like, how solid was she out there?
Yeah, even though Lauren and Sarah were rookies on this team, Rose, probably last year, she was young. She wasn't close friends with any of these girls. Yes. And this year, everyone was close. Andrea Lee, I feel like, took Rose under her belt this week and made her really comfortable, and now she's had a full year and a half with Rose. All these girls know Rose really well. They respect Rose, and she kind of showed them how a little kid does it.
Yeah, she did. And Megan Kang as well. We're going to get to this in a minute. We're going to pick an MVP of the Solheim Cup, which is really hard to pick, by the way, but I mean, Megan is a game changer out there.
Megan is a vibe.
She is a whole vibe. I mean, to start, just the whole, I remember that putt that dropped, that hung on the edge, and when it dropped and her and Allison ran to each other yesterday. I mean, just the way that she performed year after year, she proves why she's such a good match player and why she should be on every Solheim Cup team until she's not able to be, pretty much.
Yeah, she's a rock star. She keeps everybody going, and I would say she's the face of this team this week.
Yeah, and Nelly as well. Like Nelly, the way that she was just acting through the whole thing, she just seemed so excited to be here and to be on this team.
And I really do. I think these girls, like this unfinished business slogan, yes, some people might say it's cliche, but these girls came in here and every morning they were like, I want to beat the crap out of whoever they were playing. And they would talk about it on the bus, in the team room. They talked about wanting to win their points. And I think that goes a long way because once you say something enough times, it becomes reality.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we could talk about every single player, to be honest. I mean, Lexi Thompson, insane. I mean, this could be her last Solheim Cup. To be honest, like, you never know, right? Like, she could win this year and be like, what, never mind. I think I might come back, which would be fair. But, I mean, realistically, it's probably her last one. I got a little emotional watching her walk onto the tee this morning. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I've been crying all week, so it's okay. I mean, these girls are my friends, and I'm so proud. And this is, like I said, something I've always wanted to do. And I've cried so much. One day I was like, I love you guys so much. And
they were like, okay.
But I think everyone's just really happy to be here this week. And Stacy made every moment really memorable for the girls. She's so organized. She plans everything out. She really did a great job of just making the girls feel special. And the girls did the same thing for Stacy. They actually they gave her last night a folded up flag framed with all their signatures around it. And it's just been a really cool week, and this team was really special. I've never been a part of the other Solheim Cups, but just from talking to caddies and players, this was a special Solheim Cup team.
Yeah, Stacy did an amazing job. I mean, what a captain. They were all singing Chesney's Mom Has Got It Going On, which I love, and she does. I mean,
that was one of our exit songs on the bus.
I love it. Has to be, obviously. Okay, who do you think is the MVP? If you had to give an MVP trophy, who is it?
I know you're gonna laugh, but I have to go with the caddies, man. The caddies killed it, and we even had shirts off this week.
We can't wait. We got to talk about that really quick. Because
caddies, MVP, shirts off.
Show some skin. I was like, this is not like anything I've ever seen. I love it. I love it so much. And Suzanne Pedersen, I don't know if you saw this, but after she said in her press conference, they asked her about it, and she was like, I don't know, sex sells. And I was like,
and yes. I hope the players, a lot of our players said, well, that doesn't seem sexy to us. So that's how they responded. There's just a lot of, it was so fun to be on this team.
Yeah, I love that.
Wow. And there are too many players. There's way too many players to give an MVP this week.
MVP.
I mean, I even think about Allison Corpus, Nelly, Megan, Lauren, and then Allie's a mom on this team. She kind of lifts everybody up and helps out in so many ways.
Feels like the anchor, kind of.
Yes, and Jen Kupcho, you could see her personality coming out this week in a strong way.
I loved watching her dance on the first tee. It was amazing.
Yes, and then Sarah Schmelzel, she came out as a rookie, and I told her after the first day, I said, you're a leader on this team. And, there was just a lot of good leaders on this team. They all came together, and it was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying that, but it really was.
Okay, last question from me before we close out. Favorite moment, if you had to pick one?
I mean, I think it has to be that winning moment.
Yeah.
It was so clutch by Lilia. For most of the girls to be out there walking down the fairway on 18 with all the flags wrapped around them, it was a cool moment.
Yeah. I think that, and then obviously the hole out when the caddies took their shirts off. It's just one of those moments that's going to live in my head forever, and it's just so funny.
It was so great. We need more of that.
We do. So, I mean, I'm all for it. We'll just, whatever. We'll see what happens in the Netherlands, but you never know. But a bet's a bet, so they had to follow through. Anyways, this was fun, Emma.
Yes.
I can't believe it's over. I can't believe the Solheim Cup is over, but the U.S. team got the trophy. They brought it back to U.S. soil, and what better way to do it than right outside the nation's capital here in Virginia. But thank you so much, Emma, and go USA.
Go USA.
Woo! We're done.